Hello everyone and welcome to my channel EG Life Science. Here I am discussing some important questions, answers and their explanation which are frequently asked for a set exam. So please subscribe my channel, like my video and share it to your friends. Let's start. The first question, which of the leading cause of blindness in children worldwide? Four options are there. The correct answer of it is option D, that is vitamin A deficiency. The cause of blindness in a children is a deficiency of vitamin A. The option A, that is a glaucoma. The glaucoma develops when the optic nerves become damaged or the optic nerves get deteriorates, because of which the blind spot develop in your vision. Vitamin D3 would be the protective factor for a glaucoma. So the correct answer for question number 1 is a vitamin A deficiency. Then the question number 2, which of the following disease is caused by a deficiency of niacin? Four options are there: scurvy, rickets, pellagra and pernicious anemia. We firstly discuss the option A, that is a scurvy. The scurvy is a disease or it is called as a scorbutic gums. The symptoms of this disease are the triangle shaped areas between the teeth shows a redness of a gums. It is a vitamin C deficiency disease. Vitamin C is called as ascorbic acid. The sources of it are lemon, orange or fruits and vegetables. The option B, rickets, it is because of the vitamin D deficiency, and option D, that is a pernicious anemia. The pernicious anemia, here there is a decrease in a number of RBC and that occurs within the intestine. So the intestine cannot properly absorb vitamin B12. The intrinsic factor is a protein made up in a stomach and it is needed for absorption of vitamin B12. The anemia may be of a two type: microcystic anemia or a megaloblastic anemia. In a microcystic anemia, it is because of a folic acid deficiency, whereas a megaloblastic anemia, where there is a RBCs are larger in size. So the option scurvy, rickets and pernicia are not correct answer for this. The pellagra is a disease because of a deficiency of a niacin, or it is also called as a nicotinic acid deficiency disease or a tryptophan amino acid deficiency disease. The niacin, so here avoid a confusion with a alkaloid nicotine. The dietary deficiency of a nicotinic acid produces a pellagra. The pellagra means a rough skin. The symptoms of pellagra are dermatitis and dementia. So the answer of it is a option C, that is a pellagra. Then the question number 3, weakness in a muscle and increase in fragility of RBC is caused due to. The answer of it is a vitamin E. The vitamin E deficiency may lead to weakness in muscle and it increase the fragility of RBC. The vitamin E is a fat soluble vitamin. It has an antioxidant quality and it plays an important role in keeping your immune system strong. Vitamin E is with several forms, but the alpha tocopherol is only one used by a human body. And the other option, vitamin D, C and A. Because of a deficiency of vitamin D, rickets, deficiency of vitamin C, that is scurvy, and deficiency of vitamin A, that is blindness. Then the fourth question, repeated question, name the disease caused by a deficiency of niacin. Answer of it is pellagra. Then question number 5, an example of a digestive hormone is? In a 4 option, lipase, pepsin and amylase. These are the example of enzymes. The lipase acts on a lipid, break down it into a 3 fatty acid molecule and 1 glycerol molecule. Higher level of a lipase means that you have a problem with your pancreas. Second, that is a pepsin. It is a stomach enzyme. It serves to digest protein found in ingested foods. Gastric strip cell secrete a pepsin as inactive zymogen called as a pepsinogen. The parietal cells within a stomach lining secrete a HCl, and this lowers the pH of a stomach to 1.2 or 2. A low pH activates a pepsin. And the third option, that is amylase. It is a extracellular enzyme which acts on a polysaccharide starch and converts it into a monomer of a glucose. And the correct option for question number 5 is a gastrin. It is a digestive enzyme. Sorry, it is a digestive hormone, or it is a digestive peptide hormone which is responsible for enhancing a gastric mucosal growth, gastric motility and secretion of HCl into a stomach. The gastrin, it is produced in a G cells of a gastric antrum and a duodenum. It is also produced by a pancreas. So the correct answer for the question number 5th is option D, that is a gastrin. Then question number 6, which vitamin is required for a calcium absorption from a small intestine? The correct answer for it is option B, that is vitamin D. Calcium absorbed in a small intestine by two mechanisms. One, a transcellular active transport process. It is carried out in a duodenum and a upper jejunum. The second, paracellular passive process, and it occurs throughout the length of intestine. To absorb calcium, your body needs a vitamin D. The vitamin D and vitamin D3 are having a quite differences. Vitamin D is having a role in a regulation of calcium and phosphorus level in your body, whereas a D3 is a natural form of a vitamin D produced by a body from a sunlight. Whereas other option, that is a vitamin K. The vitamin K is useful for a blood clotting. Also, it helps to healing of wounds. The vitamin K also functions as a coenzyme. For example, vitamin K dependent carboxylase enzyme. Then the question number 7th, the stimulus for production of insulin is? The answer of it is option C, that is a high blood sugar level. The insulin is secreted by beta cells of pancreas, and it is produced or it is secreted in a response to a high blood sugar level. Then the question number 8, excess growth hormone would cause all the following except. Excess growth hormone causes a gignetidem in children, acromegaly in adults and diabetes. There is no any such formation or a suppression of a cancer because of excess GH. Next question, that is 9th question. Insulin enhances a membrane glucose transport in all of the following except. The insulin enhances a transport of glucose in a skeletal muscle to the adipose tissue and myocardium, but insulin does not allow a transport of a glucose to a brain, because in a brain to transport glucose there is no any requirement of a insulin. Here in this image you can look for it. 5 transporters are there: GLUT1, GLUT2, GLUT3, GLUT4 and GLUT5. For a brain, that is there is a need of a GLUT3 transporter, and it is insulin independent, whereas for transport of the glucose in skeletal muscle, adipose tissue and a heart, the GLUT4 is there and it is insulin dependent. So the correct answer for the question number 9 is a brain. Then the question number 10, secretion from which this gland differ between males and females. The answer of it is a gonads. The gonads, these are a primary reproductive organs in a male, that is testes, and in a female, that is a ovary. These organs are responsible for producing a sperm and ova respectively. They also secrete the hormones and are considered as endocrine glands. Especially two functions of gonads are production of steroid hormone and gametogenesis. So the secretion of a gonad is different in a male and female. The correct answer for question number 10 is option C, that is a gonad. The posterous pituitary stores and release. Answer of it is option C, that is oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone, that is ADH. The posterous pituitary gland stores and release oxytocin and ADH. The oxytocin is released in response to activation of sensory nerves during a labor at time of delivery and breastfeeding and at time of sexual activity. The oxytocin plays an important role for a contraction of uterine, whereas ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin, it is stored and released from a posterior lobe of a pituitary gland. It is helpful for a regulation of a water balance in your body. Normally, the amount of ADH in the body is higher during a night, and this helps to prevent urination while you are sleeping. But if the level of ADH remains low during night, the body will produce large amount of urine, so the urination during the night is more likely. And because of a lack of ADH, there is one disease, that is a diabetes insipidus, and this ADH prevent dehydration. The ADH enables the kidney to retain water in the body. The hormone, that is ADH or vasopressin, is produced in a hypothalamus. Other option, that is a prolactin. It is not correct answer for this. The prolactin is also called as a lactotropin. It is a protein known for its role in enabling mammals to produce milk or at time of lactation. It is secreted by a pituitary gland in response to eating, mating, estrogen treatment, and ovulation. The prolactin has an essential role in metabolism, regulation of immune system, and pancreatic development. The growth hormone or somatotropin or HGH, it is a peptide hormone and it stimulates the growth and cell reproduction. So the correct answer for question number 11 is option C, oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone. Then question number 12, this hormone brings about a contraction of uterine muscle during childbirth. Option for it is oxytocin. The oxytocin is a peptide hormone or it is a neuropeptide normally produced in a hypothalamus or a posterior pituitary gland. It plays a role in social bonding, reproduction, childbirth. It is released in a bloodstream during a labor, that means at time of delivery, stimulates uterine contraction to speed up the childbirth, bonding with the baby, and milk production. The other option, that is option B, HGC, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, and it is useful for diagnose maternal pregnancy, because the HGC or a human chlorinic gonadotropin hormone produced by a trophoblast cells. These trophoblast cells are cells which surrounds a growing embryo, and this eventually forms a placenta after a implantation. Option C, that is a estrogen or a estrogen. It is one of the main female sex hormone. It is responsible for a development of female reproductive system and also for a development of secondary sexual characters in a female. It is needed for a puberty. It is also needed for a menstrual cycle, pregnancy, bone strength. The estrogen levels vary throughout the menstrual cycle and falls after a menopause. Having too much estrogen can increase your risk of a blood clot and a stroke. So, the correct answer for question number 12 is oxytocin, not SGC, prolactin, not estrogen. Then moving to the next question, question number 13. Which of the following is not a peptide hormone? The correct answer for it is estrogen. Estrogen and testosterone are a steroid hormone. These are not a peptide hormones. Whereas calcitonin, ADH, insulin, growth hormone, prolactin are a peptide hormones. Calcitonin, antidiuretic hormone, insulin, growth hormone, prolactin, and a peptide. These are a peptide hormones. Then, question number 14. Dihydrogenase hormone is tested for a confirmation of a pregnancy. The answer of it is a HCG, human chlorinic gonadotropin hormone. It is produced by during a pregnancy by a trophoblast cells which are surrounding a growing embryo. Then the question number 15. Group first hormone binds to. Answer of it is a intracellular receptors. Here, general features of some hormones are there, group first and group second. The group first hormones are lipophilic in nature, whereas group second hormones are hydrophilic in nature. The group first hormones having a intracellular receptors, whereas the group second hormones having a plasma membrane receptors. So the correct answer for question number 15 is option C, that is intracellular. Then the question number 16. Which of the following hormones are responsible for flight and fight response? Answer for it is option A, that is epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine is called as adrenaline, whereas norepinephrine is called as noradrenaline. These are called as fight or flight hormones because these hormones are rapidly released in a reaction to stress of any kind or at time of during emergency. A role of this epinephrine or norepinephrine is that it allows people to respond rapidly in life-threatening situations. The fight or flight response either prepares our body to stay or to flight, that means to accept on a situation. Also, this hormone or these hormones are responsible for breakdown of glycogen. So the correct answer for question number 16 is option A, epinephrine and norepinephrine. Option B, insulin. It is required for maintaining a blood sugar level. Estrogen, progesterone, thyroxine. These are not a correct answer for this. Then the moving to the question number 13. Secretion from which of these glands differ between males and female? It is also a repeated question. Option C is a answer of question number 70. The ADH is also called as ADH means anti-diuretic hormone. that is a vasopressin. It is required for maintaining a water level in a body. So the answer of it is option D. By mistake it is written as a C. So the answer of it is a vasopressin. Then the question number 19. What is another name for thyroxine? It is also called as a tetraiodothyronine. Question number 20. Vitamins of then acts as a coenzyme. Number of vitamins are there and they are acting as a coenzyme. In this image, here are some vitamins and they are acting as a coenzyme. Vitamin B1, that is a thymine, it acts as a coenzyme. So please take a screenshot of it. Number of times questions are asked on this table, so it is very important to you. So vitamins are acting as a coenzymes. Then the question number 21. Insulin enhances the membrane glucose transport in all of the following except. It is also a repeated question. Answer of it is option C, that is a brain. Then question number 22. The peptide bond is a covalent bond. Peptide bond is amide type of covalent bond linking to consecutive alpha amino acids, that is a carbon atom of first and nitrogen atom of another amino acid. Here this is a peptide bond and this is in between a consecutive amino acid R1 and amino acid first and amino acid second. Then the question number 23. Which of the following bonds are not involved in a tertiary type of protein structure? Answer of it is a hydrophilic interactions. Disulfide bond, hydrogen bonding and salt bridges are involved in a tertiary structure of a protein, whereas the hydrophilic interactions are not involved in a tertiary structure of a protein. Here some bonds in between a protein or a tertiary structure of protein are there. The hydrophilic interactions, where the amino acids are orient themselves outward to the structure of protein or towards the water. Hydrophobic interactions, disulfide bridges, hydrogen bonds and ionic bonds, but there is no any involvement of a hydrophilic interaction in a tertiary structure of a protein. Moving to the next question, question number 24. Which of the following is a false about a fibrous protein? The fibrous proteins are also called as scleroproteins. We know that there are the three types of protein: globular protein, membrane protein and scleroprotein. The fibrous proteins are made up of elongated or a fibrous polypeptide chains which forms a filamentous or a sheet-like structure. These kind of protein can be distinguished from globular protein by its low solubility in a water. Such a protein serves protective and structural roles by forming connective tissue, tendons, bone matrix and a muscle fiber. Example of these fibrous protein are keratin, collagen, elastin and fibrin. So the answer for question number 24 is a C, the characteristic that is about a fibrous protein is that they are rod in their shape, or they are looking like a wire. Keratin and collagen are a best example, and they provide a structural support for cell and a tissue. The option C is answer for it. Question number 25. Which of the following is false? Heme consists of a complex organic ring structure, that is a protoporphyrin. It is correct. Iron atom has a 6 coordination bonds. It is correct. Heme is found in a member of oxygen transporting proteins. It is also correct, but the option B is incorrect, because the heme is a precursor for a hemoglobin. Heme is a coordination complex consisting of a iron, and it is coordinated to a porphyrin ring. Biologically, the important hemoproteins such as myoglobin, cytochromes, catalases, and heme peroxidase. So moving to the next question, question number 26. Myoglobin and a subunit of hemoglobin have very similar tertiary structure, but they are different in their primary structure. The myoglobin is a protein which is located primarily in striated muscles of vertebrates. The myoglobin, the gene responsible for myoglobin is a capital M, capital B, that is a MB gene, which codes for a myoglobin in humans. And it encodes a single polypeptide chain with one oxygen binding site. Myoglobin contains a heme as a prostatic group that can be reversibly bind to oxygen. This myoglobin, it is a dark red protein composed of a globin and a molecule of a heme. Its normal function is to supply O2 to a skeletal and a cardiac muscle, whereas a hemoglobin is a heterotetrameric oxygen transport protein found in RBCs, whereas a myoglobin is a monomeric protein. So these are different in their primary structure, and the myoglobin is found in a muscle tissue where it serves as a intracellular storage site for oxygen. So the answer for this question number 26 is option D. The myoglobin and the hemoglobin are similar to their tertiary structure but different in their primary structure. Question number 27. Light band has which of the following filament protein? Answer of it is actin. The other option like tubulin, the tubulin, it is a globular protein and it gets polymerized into a microtubule. The microtubule are a major component of a eukaryotic cytoskeleton. They are playing important role during a cell division and intracellular transport. The myosin, it is useful for a muscle contraction and it gives a motility to eukaryotes. The actin is a eukaryotic cytoskeleton protein. It is having a role in mobility of a eukaryotic cell, and the number of actin polymerized into a microfilament. So the answer of question number 27 is actin. Then the question number 28. Which of the following allosterically activate a glycogen phosphorylase? The glycogen phosphorylase is one of the enzyme, or it is one of the phosphorylase enzyme. This catalyzes a rate limiting step in a glycogenolysis in an animal by releasing a glucose 1 phosphate. It acts on a alpha 1 for glycosidic linkage of a glycogen, and it is allosterically activated by a AMP. So the correct answer for it is a AMP. Then moving to the question number 29. Which of the first intermediate in a cholesterol synthesis? Answer of it is a mevalonate. It is the first intermediate in a cholesterol synthesis. The cholesterol synthesis is carried by one pathway, that is a mevalonate pathway or a isoprenoid pathway. After formation of a 3-hydroxy 3-methylglutaryl coenzyme A, that is a HMG-CoA. It is formed from a acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A get converted into a mevalonate with the help of enzyme that is a HMG-CoA reductase. The statins, these are drugs which inhibit this enzyme that is HMG-CoA reductase. So they are useful for to lower a cholesterol level. The isoprenoid pathway essential for metabolism in eukaryotes, archaeobacteria and some bacteria. This pathway produces two 5-carbon building blocks called as isopentenyl pyrophosphate, that is IPP, which are used to make isoprenoids such as cholesterol, vitamin K and steroid hormones. Here there is a mevalonate pathway, acetyl coenzyme A, and acetyl coenzyme A leads to formation of acetyl coenzyme A. With the help of HMG-CoA synthase enzyme, there is a formation of 3-hydroxy-3-methyl-butyryl CoA, and the enzyme HMG-CoA reductase acts on a HMG-CoA and forms a first intermediate in a mevalonate pathway, that is a mevalonic acid, and this enzyme HMG-CoA reductase can be inhibited by statin drugs. So correct answer for question number 29 is mevalonate. Question number 30. Which of the following is an integral membrane protein of a smooth ER? Answer of it is HMG-CoA reductase. Then question number 31. Steroids have a sterols nucleus, but they lack a alkyl chain which is attached to a D ring of a cholesterol. The steroids are composed of 17 carbon atoms and bounded in 4 fused rings, 3 6-membered cyclohexene ring and 1 5-membered cyclopentane ring. Question number 32. Which of the following is a major point of a regulation of a pathway to a cholesterol? Answer of it is a HMG-CoA reductase. HMG-CoA reductase is a correct answer for this question. The mevalonate pathway is a pathway where there is a formation of a cholesterol, squalene, ubiquinones, sterols, dolichols, heme A, and geranyl pyrophosphate. Question number 33. Which compound are responsible for a coordination regulation of a glucose and glycogen metabolism? The answer of it is a fructose 2,6-diphosphate or a bisphosphate. The fructose 2,6-diphosphate is a metabolite that holistically affects the activity of enzyme phosphofructokinase and fructose 1,6-diphosphatase, and this regulates glycolysis and gluconeogenesis. Then question number 34. The essential intermediate in a pathway from acetate to a cholesterol are, that is a isoprene unit. These are the intermediate, and from that isoprene unit there is a formation of a cholesterol. The enzyme required for it, that is a HMG-CoA reductase, and this enzyme is anchored in a membrane of a endoplasmic reticulum, and it is regarded that it having a 7 transmembrane domain with one active site located in a long carboxyl terminal domain in a cytosol. In a human, gene for a HMG-CoA reductase is located on a long arm, that is a Q of a 5th number chromosome. HMG-CoA reductase catalyzes a conversion of HMG-CoA to a mevalonic acid, and this is a necessary step in a cholesterol synthesis and isoprenoid synthesis. The statin drugs lowers cholesterols. So the correct answer for question number 34 is isoprene unit. Thank you for watching me. If you like my video, share my video and please subscribe my channel Easy Life Science.